What is going on, everyone? Hello. Oh, better turn the light on. How goes it? We are Sunday night. It is end of game week 14. Game week 15 starts in just 2 days on Tuesday. It's going to be an interesting ride. I think midweek deadlines are always good. I like that we get into another game week so quick. But it does mean sometimes you have to rush decisions. So, plenty to talk about. Score, wasn't great this week. But it wasn't awful either. A little bit of a red arrow, which I'll talk about in a minute. Down to 510k. I was like 506k before this game week. So not an awful week. Didn't captain Vardy. But I'll talk about all that in a minute. I'll also lower my chair a bit. There we go. Much better. Ali and Son double up. You know what my answer is going to be about Spurs? Man United away this week. But Man United just keep conceding goals. So maybe it's perfectly fine to bring him in. They're looking good. Ali, look, he was probably third choice for me behind Son and Lucas Moura. How quickly things change. But anyway, let's get into the main part of the stream. We'll show my team and stuff. There is 5 polls tonight. Best Pope replacement. Is it time to sell Mount? Got another good fixture this week. But obviously did just lose to West Ham, which is frustrating. He hasn't done anything for ages either. Best game week 15 captain. Obviously, again, there's going to be no stream, probably no stream before game week 15, apart from this one. So we've got captaincy in there now. Best option: Ings versus Muse. And will Maguire ever keep a clean sheet? No, I think is the answer there. So let's just jump into it. Quickly talk about the stream sponsor, OneFootball. If you have not already tried it out, oh my God, come on. Jesus Christ. If you've not already tried it out, it's completely free. iOS, Android devices. Click the link in the description below or just search for OneFootball on the app stores. You can get it completely free of charge. Go and test it out, see what you think of it. Not enough. Jesus Christ, we're still... There we go. Not enough notifications from the app this week. When Mane was playing, I was out. And I was really hoping that Mane would get some points for me. Didn't happen, but obviously on good game weeks you get plenty of live score notifications, plenty of team news and all that good stuff that you want. So if you've not already tried OneFootball, click the link in the description below or just search for it on your iOS or Android device. Okay. Gorav. Mount out for Zaha for free. Yeah, I'm considering that myself. I think it's a fine transfer, to be honest. Mount just doesn't look like he's doing anything. Mount, to be honest, you could get trapped with the fixtures for a little while, to be honest. He's got 1 assist, by the way, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Aston Villa at home is fine. After that, it's still okay for Chelsea. But I think he's not the main midfielder you want from Chelsea. You want Pulisic. Up front, Abraham's better once he's back. I think Mount to Zaha is... I don't think there's too much to dislike about it. Zaha's coming into a bit of form. Finally scored, obviously, against Liverpool. Now he's scored again this weekend against Burnley. He's a really good price. He's going to play pretty much every single game. You're not going to see him rotated. Obviously, over Christmas, it can happen for anyone. But I don't think you have necessarily that safe thinking with Mount. Like in the tougher games, Mount could get rotated, as we've seen already. So I think Zaha's fine. I might even do it. So yeah, if Zaha hadn't scored, we wouldn't be talking. I mean, there's 2 things for that. One, I mean, when players score, we tend to talk about them, right? That's what we want them to do. So if they're coming into a bit of form. And also, he was getting spoken about last week. So I don't think it's just that he scored. I mean, yeah, the fact that he scored has helped. But I mean, that helps with all players, right? You know, one of the reasons I bought in Ings is because he scores. And had been scoring. I don't buy into this trap stuff, to be honest. I mean, I was told Ings was a trap. Well, first game, 9 points. Now he has Norwich at home. Pretty happy with that. Even if Abraham comes back. I'm so happy with that. Yeah, the Zaha goal was pretty maybe a little bit lucky. Pope should have done better, but I feel like could give him a bit of confidence now. And the fixtures are there. I think that's the main thing. There's a couple of things, right? He's not 12 million. Okay, so you don't have to expect the world with him. Bournemouth at home, Watford away, Watford sacking another manager, Brighton at home, Newcastle away, West Ham at home. All up over Christmas. 2 away games, Southampton and Norwich. I don't know. It seems to all be falling in place with him at the right time. So good price. Potentially win some penalties as well for Milivojevic. So yeah, I like it. But there's, you could get Ali, could get Son. Depends how much money you've got. But I think the reason Zaha is so popular is because he's basically the same price as Mount for a lot of people. I think Mount he's 6.7, Zaha's 6.6. I think, bam, easy swap. Now Mount could obviously do something against Villa. I just think long term that's not going to be a move we're probably going to regret. Only issue you have is with Palace, they don't really look like scoring outside of Zaha. Yeah, but he's the talisman, right? So if they're going to be, I feel like it's a bit like Vardy. We'll talk about. Actually, let me put my score up from last week, not the next week yet. And one of the reasons I should have gone Vardy, a little bit of Heinz. I mean, I talked about them both. I had Vardy on my team selection preview, but I did say I was probably going to change it to Mane. And I switched back on Saturday morning to Vardy. Then I was just telling myself, how often do we say don't make late changes? So I swapped it back to Mane. But I feel a bit unfortunate, to be honest, not to have got Mane points. But I've gone off on a tangent there. But the reason, obviously, Vardy is so good, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Crystal Palace are as good as Leicester. But if Leicester score, you can be pretty confident that Vardy's probably got the goal or the assist. And I think if Palace score, you can probably think the same with Zaha. So, and he's cheaper, like I say. So I think he's a good pick. I don't think he's like rush out and go and, he has to be bought in. Like he's as good as Vardy and Jimenez have been. But yeah, so my score this week is on screen. 51 is what I got. That's my team. Kevin De Bruyne, every time I think about selling him, he goes and smashes in a goal. And what a goal, by the way, this weekend. Mane, I feel a bit unfortunate. I think he could have had a couple of assists on another day. Could have had a goal. Harry Maguire. Like, I was out watching my son play football. And I was like, come on, Harry. Samori's done nothing. Soyuncu hopefully will concede because I've got him benched. Could you just get me something for the last week? I get home. I put Twitter on. 9 minutes. Harry Maguire yellow carded. Fine. Can still get a clean sheet. Maybe get a goal. Go out to the kitchen. Come back 2 minutes later. Conceded. Okay, there's the clean sheet gone. Maybe as a centre-back he'll score. And what was it, like 60, 70 minutes? I get tweets, by the way, saying that Maguire's scored. Because I think one of the other apps that people are using said Maguire has scored. And it was bloody LUNDSTRAM. So yeah, he's been frustrating. Liverpool cannot keep clean sheets. I mean, how would you even call it? Like a red card for Alisson. And then Dunk takes a direct free kick, which apparently he does now. I've missed that completely. And just pulls the Trent Alexander-Arnold. What the hell? Anyway, 10 points is obviously good. I heard on the radio, I was driving into town, and I heard on the radio, it's 2-0 to Liverpool. I was like, right, come on, Manny. At least one goal here, surely. Van Dijk twice. So what the... Come on. The only thing I thought when I heard that is maybe Trent has assisted them. And obviously he had. So overall I was quite happy. I did Abraham to Ings. I was kind of talking about it on the last stream. The reason I did that is because I'm basically gambling that Abraham will miss 2 fixtures. If he's back for Villa, then obviously he can get points. But I was kind of banking on Ings getting something and then having Norwich at home being just as good as having Villa at home. Although, to be fair, Norwich have done, at least in scoring terms, a bit better in the last couple of games. But still conceded 2 to Arsenal. So Ings has penalties as well, I think. I think he's ahead of Ward-Prowse. So that was basically my thing. Jimenez helped get rid of the LUNDSTRAM clean sheet, so that was great. It's a shame Lundstram didn't get a yellow card this week, though, because I would love an excuse not to buy him this week. So yeah, that's kind of the story of my week. This is what I'm looking like for next week so far. Transfers, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to buy Lundstram. I know people are getting bored of this, but if I bring him in, I've got to bench one of those 3 defenders, right? Soyuncu against Watford at home. Yes, Leicester didn't get a clean sheet, but that's only 1 goal conceded. They could have conceded more. So in the last 5 game weeks, they've conceded like once. Hang on. They've conceded once, right? So I'm not going to bench Soyuncu. I'm not going to bench Trent Alexander-Arnold. Maybe one day he'll get a clean sheet. And obviously, he's shown how good he is for attacking returns, right? We don't need to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's no way I'm going to bench him. So, do I bring in Lundstram? Fair enough. It's a good move. And bench Tomori. But he's got Villa at home. Why would I not just play him and save the transfer? So, I don't know if I'm going to get him, to be honest. I just don't know. He does look like a banker of a clean sheet almost against Newcastle. Although they did it right against Man City. Although maybe Man City not as good defensively. So yeah. Villa have got a great chance to score against Chelsea, but I just think I've got Tomori already. He's got a good home fixture. Yeah, the ownership is a bit of a risk. I don't know, it just feels like such a... Not a negative transfer, but I don't like being forced into a move I don't really want to make. Just because I feel like I could do other stuff. In terms of other positions, like I've considered De Bruyne for Son or Ali. But I just think he's done enough where I have to keep him for a bit longer. Burnley away is decent. Man United at home and Arsenal away, Leicester at home, Wolves away is pretty tricky. But I'm probably going to keep him because Spurs have got Man United away. So I'm not really in a rush to bring in their players there, even though they're going to rise in price. Obviously, it's only a quick turnaround to the next game week. I could do Pope to Henderson. That would give me Lundstram's clean sheet. I looked at Guaita versus Henderson. Someone actually is it FPL Audit? I can't remember what their actual Twitter handle is. From now until game week 30, the fixtures are quite close between Henderson and Guaita, and I don't really want to use more than one transfer to get rid of a goalkeeper. So I'm tempted just to go for Henderson this week, and then just cover Lundstram's clean sheets. It's going to backfire, isn't it? Otherwise, Mount to Zaha is a potential option, and that's basically it. Could I take a hit? I feel like it's wrong to take a hit when Mount's got like Villa at home, and I could take out Tomori and Mount. So yeah, I feel like I need a new goalkeeper soon. So it's interesting. I don't really know what I'm going to do right now. I have to have a think about it. Obviously, don't have too much time to think about it. Hodgson likes to rotate his goalkeepers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Henderson. The only thing that puts me off Henderson, right, and this is not even logical thinking, it's just that can Sheffield United keep up this defensive, how good they've been defensively for like the rest of the season, essentially, up to like game week 30, when we'll potentially like wild card. So yeah, I don't know. Don't make any transfers, make them on Friday. That's bad advice. Especially this week, you know. Good advice usually, not this week. So I think Mount to Zaha, Pope to Henderson. And here's the thing. Even if I bring in Lundstram, I don't know if I'm going to do Maguire to Lundstram. The only kind of problem with not doing Maguire to Lundstram is I potentially have too much money in defence. So I could just do Diop to Lundstram. I've got the money for it. I've got like 2.7 in the bank. And that would give me Maguire. I could keep Maguire on the bench. And if Man United's form ever improves, the good thing about him is he's absolutely nailed over Christmas, right? And he does have potential for a goal in him. So I have thought about doing that as well. Gazaniga, yeah. I'm not going to go there, I don't think. Just, yeah, Spurs could just conceding too much. Yeah, of course, a goalkeeper like that can get saves, but obviously you want clean sheets as well, right? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I could just get in Lundstram, bench Tomori. I don't like doing it though. Yeah, Kelly is an option now as well. Perhaps that's the way to go into the Crystal Palace defence if needed. Don't you think you're looking at the Sheffield United? I mean, I know that Lundstram's a good option. Anyway, I don't want to spend the rest of the stream talking about Lundstram because, yeah, I might get him. We'll see. We'll see. I told you about Vardy captain last night. Set and forget. Yeah, I got to be honest. I was looking at Mane to Vardy. I tweeted about it. I was really agonising over it because I bought Mane in. My justification for doing Salah to Mane for a hit was that I really wanted Liverpool, a Liverpool player for captaincy over the next kind of 4 weeks. So obviously they're Brighton at home, Everton at home, Bournemouth away, Watford at home. So I was thinking I'll captain a Liverpool player 3 out of 4 of those fixtures. Maybe not the Everton game, just because it's a derby and who knows what the result on that will be. But then yesterday I was looking at Vardy's fixtures and thinking the guy just cannot stop scoring. We've seen him go on one of these runs before. And he has arguably better fixtures, potentially. Yeah, it depends how you look at it. So now I am going to keep it on. Vardy will be my captain the next 3 weeks now. Watford at home, Villa away, Norwich at home. I just think he's in... No, you don't need to tell me why. Sorry, you don't need me to tell you why. So yeah, all that about bringing in Mane for captaincy, I'm probably not going to do it now. Probably just going to captain Vardy. Mane scores, great, but I've got to go with Vardy, I think. I did hear about Benek Afobe's daughter's awful news. Obviously, like everyone said, thoughts go out to him and the family. It's horrible. 2 years old. It's just nothing more I can say other than that. It's proper horrible. I do feel for the guy. There's not really a good way to move off that into carrying on with the stream. So I'll just answer the next question. I'll talk about the next question. Maddison, keep us out. I think, like, if you recently bought in Maddison, obviously it's been a bit frustrating because he's blanked the last 2. But again, like Vardy, Watford, Villa, Norwich, I think you just keep him. You just keep him for those 3 and then see. Everton got robbed. Don't think they did. I think both VAR decisions were fine. Iheanacho was so good. Thoughts about Vardy triple captain versus Watford? Midweek, not much rest between games. Although he's probably playing on Wednesday. He's playing on. Yeah, do you know what? I actually don't think that's a bad shout. I kind of said that I would happily use it in a single game week this year. So yeah, maybe Watford or Norwich could be a good option. I want to keep it for a double game week though. But it's honestly, it's not worked for me so much. And maybe I just don't do that. Obviously, again, the non-logical thought for me is he scored 1, 2, 3, 6 games in a row. Can he keep it up? I mean, I know he literally can because he's done it before, but he's going to score, isn't he? He's going to score against Watford. I think Grealish is a good option. I think we mentioned that in the last stream. The fixtures just put me off. Obviously, absolutely nailed his shot today. Like, how would you keep that out? So yeah, I think he's got a tough fixture again this week. Tough enough anyway. Yeah, Chelsea away. Could be decent. I don't know. I don't think that's a match where I would bring him in, but I think he's very good for the price. Is 100k rank good at this point? I mean, it's much better than mine. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy to be 100k right now. The Man United defence is weak. That's why Maguire's on the bench. Don't panic about him. He's not going to play this week. Spurs assets are obviously... This is why I didn't want to rush to bring it. Obviously, I knew that Son was fine and going to play most games, but didn't want to rush it because obviously we'd only seen 2 games under Mourinho. Straight away, Lucas Moura dropped, so he's now not an option. Can't be having that rotation in my side. So don't want him. So obviously it's between Son and Ali. I still think Son is just so consistent that he'd be the one I want, but... Ali looks so good in the last game, and I know a lot of people said he played well in the West Ham game, but he didn't have any shots in the box. So I was like, was he that good? And he obviously scored in the Champions League. He had 5 shots in the box today, this weekend, and he just looked back to his best. And Mourinho said his best position is playing up alongside Kane. So I'm very tempted to just get Ali now. But Ali or Son will come in, I think. Not this week, the week after. Their fixtures aren't amazing, but I think they're in good enough form now, and I want him in. And obviously Ali is cheaper than Son, which I like as well. I think he's like, what, $1 million difference at the moment? You're captaining Lundstram. Why not? I mean... Yeah, he could do well. I think Vardy is the standout this week, but who am I to say that you can't captain Lundstram? Would you start Van Dijk or Soyuncu? You already have Trent Alexander-Arnold. I hate benching a player if I'm doubling up. But Soyuncu, I don't know how you can not play him against Watford, so I'd maybe split the difference there. Just go with playing Soyuncu. And then Van Dijk's obviously got much better goal threat. I mean, Soyuncu does get in and around the box, and he's a bit of a nuisance, but I think nothing compared to Van Dijk, really. Yeah, I knew this would come up. Obviously, Spurs are playing Man United, and Mourinho definitely is going to want to win that game. Obviously, I hate when you say stuff like that, because obviously he wants to win every game, but this is going to be a big one. But would I bring in a Spurs player? I mean, I guess it's a long-term move, but I'd probably just keep Mount and then, because of the fixture, and then just get the Spurs player the week after. I think if I do some tinkering, like I think I might even have the money. Yeah, I've even got the money to go straight to Ali as well. So I could get Lundstram in this week and just play him, not get stung by the ownership. In fact, let me put... this is one of the reasons I probably can't do Diop, because I don't want to risk it. So Ali in, 0.4 left over. So I can't do Diop to Lundstram. So I'd have to get rid of Maguire. Uh-oh, that's annoying. There is a part of me that doesn't want to get rid of Maguire, even though he's been awful. Just keep him on the bench for now. And just get Lundstram in that way. Gives me 0.7 million to play with. So I think that's the plan. One of the plans anyway. Maybe Maguire to Lundstram this week. Keep Pope. Who does he have after Man City? Yeah, Newcastle at home. Maybe I can keep him for the next 3. I don't know. I don't like making goalkeeper transfers. So Lundstram in, and then Mount as Ali the week after. For Burnley at home, Wolves away, Chelsea at home. Going to play most matches over Christmas, hopefully. I missed a super chat, did I? Apologies if that is the case. Oh yeah, Gorav again, thanks. Play 1, Tamori, Cantwell, Daniel James. So Spurs at home. Who did Norwich have? They're away, aren't they? Away to Southampton. I'd want to play one of the attackers. Obviously, Cantwell found himself in a tiny bit of form. Daniel James is at home. They're going to play on the counter-attack. They'll probably be able to do that a little bit against Spurs. I'll probably... Maybe Cantwell out of them. I mean, I would play Daniel James, but the better option is probably Cantwell. That Lindelof... obviously, it was good that Lindelof scored, and I was happy we were ahead. But yeah, I was like, are you serious? Man United centre-back scores and it's not Maguire. Annoying. Yeah, Son versus Ali. I don't know. Like, both, pretty much, in fact they were, both Ali goals were kind of long balls over the top. Not to say that's a bad way to score, but... Actually, no, do you know, I'm not even going to try and say there's not a good reason to bring him in. He looked really good. He should have scored a hat-trick, to be honest. So, you know, he scored against... So he scored against... Even before Mourinho came in, he's got 1, 2, 3, 5 attacking returns in the last 6 games. So there's a 1.3 million difference. In the same time period, Son has the same amount of... No, one more attacking return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, Son is probably the better option. But to get him, I would have to... no, for my team, I would have to get rid of De Bruyne. I guess if money's no object, I'd probably go Son. I do think he would be the one I'd want. But I might just go Ali because he's cheaper. And then I'll give Madison a little bit longer. I mean, I could still, if I think Son is that good, I could do De Bruyne to Son at some point. I might do that. I'm not bothered about not having City attack. I just think he's just scored 2 goals for me. And there's been pretty consistent this season that I want to keep him for Burnley. After that, maybe I'll look to get rid. Maguire to Kelly and Mount to Son. No Lundstram though. I'm not going to take a hit to get rid of Mount, to be honest. I'm not going to take a hit this week which involves getting rid of Mount and not getting Lundstram, I think. I'm definitely bringing in Lundstram. Yeah, I hadn't properly looked at my fixtures, you see. Thought some more are getting dropped. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to try different things, right? Yeah, I think he's a problem now, isn't he? You just can't get him. What is your team value? Did you sell Abraham? Yeah, I sold Abraham for Ings. Team value is like 102.6. You're completely ignoring Abraham with awesome fixtures. I'm not ignoring him. I just sold him because he was injured. How am I planning on bringing... Oh, unless you mean I'm ignoring him with the transfers I'm considering. Yeah, potentially, yeah. See you later, physio. Obviously, it depends. It depends how I want to set my, my team up. If I want Ali and I want De Bruyne, I can't get Abraham back. So the thing with Danny Ings, as long as he doesn't get injured, which I know a lot of people are obviously worried about, he's got pretty good fixtures up until Christmas. So I have a bit of time to worry about Abraham or worry about getting rid of Ings. I mean, if you've still got Abraham, there's no point in... You might as well wait until Lampard says whether he's fit or not for this week. I got rid of him for the last game week. Yeah, I've already done the... Don't worry, I've not forgotten the Patreons, and I've done the poll reminder already. Don't panic, don't panic. Ings and Ali in for Abraham Moore. I would honestly wait for Abraham news, because if he's going to play against Villa, you want him, right? Vardy's set to rise. Let me check on FPL statistics. Yeah, Vardy potentially rises tonight. Ings, De Bruyne maybe as well. Sterling's going to punish again. I mean, to be honest, Sterling didn't even punish most non-owners this week. Like, he's 11.9 million, he got 7 points. De Bruyne is like 1.9 million less and got more. So, not that worried about Sterling. Jesus now, if you went for Jesus, that must be a bit of a annoyance. Would have the exact funds for Tammy and Mao to Musain's son, but gotta wait. Yeah. I mean, if you're 100% set on doing those transfers, I suppose if you're looking at a transfer that involves Abraham out, you've just got to think, how would you feel if he's past fit? I feel like if you own Abraham, he's past fit, you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't even think about selling him. He's got a good fixture this week. Like, am I worried about not owning him? I know he could do well, and he's got pretty good fixtures, but I think at this point I've made the gamble with Ings. I have to stick to it. I mean, one thing we talked about in the last stream was that Ings had played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's now 8 games in a row that Ings has started. He played 45 minutes against Leicester because of the absolute smashing they got and the red card or whatever. But one thing I didn't notice until after the stream was just how many goals he scored. So before this week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, scored 5 goals in those 7 games. If you discount the Leicester game, which was a bit of a freak one, it's 5 goals in 6. And he's played Spurs, Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester, Man City, Everton, Arsenal. Pretty tough fixtures. And he scored 6. So let's just say 6 in the last 8, if you include the Leicester game. Max bonus 3 times. Another 1 bonus 2 other times. Like, I know people are worried about him getting injured, and that's fair enough, but he really went under the radar. Can he play 2? Yeah, exactly. Can he play 2 or 3 times a week? We're about to find out. And if he doesn't this weekend, then yeah, that is frustrating because it's Norwich at home. Then you got to play him against Newcastle away. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he can, and if he can't, then he is going to be a problem down the line. Because obviously over Christmas I don't want to be carrying him, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he went under the radar a bit, and obviously being able to play 2 or 3 games and an injury is probably one of the reasons he went under the radar. But he's been in excellent form. The Ings goal should not have been allowed though. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's not one of those players you have to jump on. Like, I don't think he's that good. I'm just saying, for a cheap option, you know, he has gone under the radar a bit. Like, if you've got Abraham and stuff and you're going to play him, then absolutely no issue with Ings. I mean, Ings now has the same points as Firmino. He has 2 more than Kane. Like, what? There's not much to dislike about him. 6 points behind Jimenez. Okay. Don't forget though, if you haven't already voted on the polls, I know a bunch of you already have, click in the top right hand corner, click the little eye, and you can get going on that. I'll also do the Patreon shout out. I'll go and see if the league's updated as well, actually. So we have quite a few new patrons this week. Has that updated? 69 points. I don't think that's updated yet. So I can't tell you who's won the league. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks to all the patrons and the new ones as well this week. So producer, we've got Pierre, who has signed up, already in Slack. Slack got pretty busy today, actually. And also the other new patrons, Peter B, Pete R, also Peter, and Kevin K. So thanks very much for signing up. It's still December 1st, so I think if you sign up basically while the stream is still live, you'll be able to get into the December League, which will be, invites will go out for that sometime this week. Don't panic that the league might not be set up by the time the first game goes live, but don't panic about that. It's not an issue. So if you want to check that out, link is in the description below. You can see what it's all about. You get invited to Slack straight away, and obviously we have the December League as well. So yeah, if you want to support on Patreon, check out the link in the description below. And thanks to everyone that's already been signed up and all the new patrons as well. So, and if anyone signs up on stream, I've got my emails open. I will do the shout out there and then. Apparently, I've missed another super chat. Jake, I apologise. Thanks very much. Bench boost this week. You got Zaha, Lundstram, and Dunk on the bench. I mean, that's a pretty nice bench boost. Lundstram's got a good fixture. Zaha has 2. Dunk has Brighton. Who does Brighton have? Let's have a look. Yeah, Arsenal away, meh. Maybe we'll smash another free kick. I think it's not a bad bench boost. Obviously, you could potentially use it in the double game weeks, but for a single game week, that sounds pretty good. Although, how good is your team if you've got Zaha and Lundstram on the bench? Is that like a realistic bench? That's all I would say. Check the points difference before this game week between Pope and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then count how many game weeks either has delivered. Well, how much is Pope on? So Pope is on 55, so he would have been on 54 before this week, and Trent would have been on 54 as well. So, yeah, I kind of get your point. But I suppose the thing with you've got Ings on the brain. The thing with Trent is we're obviously hoping for more and more consistency. Just not bringing home the clean sheets, but we're not going to take him out for these fixtures. Whereas we know Pope's fixtures are about to turn, and so perhaps he could. It's not that I think Pope is bad. I just think there's another goalkeeper that might do better, i.e. Henderson, for similar money. Yeah, like I get your point, but you have to kind of spend that money at some point, right? Like, Trent hasn't been good value compared to other defenders. Like, literally hasn't. Like, he's 64 points. So he's the same as Chilwell, but he costs 1.3 million more. He's only one more than Soyuncu, who's 2.2 million less. But the fixtures that are coming up, I'm just not going to sell him. But you're right, we do have different perceptions of value on players for sure. That happens all the time. Excuse me. Alright, Patreon shoutouts done. Polls will do soon enough. Abraham to Rashford. I think now is not necessarily the greatest time to buy Rashford. I think playing the Spurs and Man City in the next two. Salah to Mane or Pope to Guaita? Probably Salah to Mane, I think. I don't know. I mean, Salah did not look good this weekend, but obviously I don't think there was any mention of his ankle injury, so potentially, you know, he could play himself back into some form over these fixtures, save your transfer there, and just, because obviously it's quite sideways, as we know, and just do the goalkeeper transfer. But I think most people would be happier with their team if they had Mane. But there's obviously, Salah's so good, there's nothing to say that you can't just turn it around at some point soon. I mean, just imagine if Trent had got his clean sheet as well this week. Spurs are a great fixture for attackers. Yeah, fair point. And that probably will be a game Man United will do okay, and they'll be up for it. It's a big game. It's against Mourinho. They're going to be able to maybe counter-attack a little bit more, cause Spurs some problems. So it's not the worst time to bring him in, but you know me, it's not. Bringing players in against top six sides, I just don't like doing it. You want to bring in Trent, but you're 0.1 short. Why does that always happen? It does always happen. Should you be patient with Pulisic? Yeah, I think so. I mean, he could have scored the weekend. A bit unlucky, maybe. Sorry, shouldn't be coughing so much on the stream or clear my throat. Who's better, Pulisic or Maddison? I think I'd rather have Pulisic if I could just snap my fingers and make the change. You're not starting Ali this week. You're not starting him, really? Who are you starting instead? If you think he can easily score, surely you just start him. Can I suggest a wacky punt for this game week and you'll get him in? I mean, the key question is, can I think on the spot quick enough to think of one? Van Arnold against Bournemouth, maybe. Potentially, if Abraham is still ruled out, Giroud or Batshuayi. Probably Giroud, because he played the last game. But that's a bit risky, I think. Who else? Maybe Iheanacho will get... Nah, he's probably not going to start. Yeah, let's go Van Arnold against Bournemouth. You go with Lundstram over Ali. Always play the attacker. Always play the attacker. You know what happened last time. For me, anyway. Not playing Ali to play Lundstram. Oh, I've got to get him in, haven't I? You're going to get Van Arnott in. I really hope it doesn't backfire. This will be the week now, though, where Wilson scores a hat-trick or something. Lundstram is as much an attacker as Ali. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. All right, all right, all right, all right. Who did I do that with where I benched Pookie, didn't I? That was to play Zinchenko. Bit different, probably. Jake, thanks very much. This is your team. Pope, Trent, Soyuncu, Robertson. Double Liverpool defence. It's brutal at the moment. Lundstram. Oh, okay. This is for your bench boost. Lundstram, Dunk. Mane, Ali, De Bruyne, Mount, Zaha, Ings, Jimenez. That's a pretty nice, especially if, I don't know if you've got a goalkeeper bench option, but that's a pretty nice bench boost. Like if you think it's going to do well in a single game week, there's no reason to keep it. The other thing is, although we keep chips like the bench boost or whatever for double game weeks, you do kind of get forced to think about that too often. Whereas I do sometimes think if I've already used those chips, like I've already used the bench boost, I can simply focus on the squad I need over the doubles with my wildcard, not worry about who I'm bench boosting or whatever. And so if I want to eke out a bit more money, I'll just go for a non-playing defender or whatever it might be. So it does look like you've got a nice team for potential bench boost if you want to use it in a single game week. And if you do, fingers crossed, I hope it goes well for you. Problem with bringing players in who only start because of injuries, you have to waste a transfer moving them out again. Yeah, no, exactly. I fully agree. I don't know who you're talking about necessarily there. Maybe Giroud or Batshuayi, but I mean, he did ask for a pretty wacky punt, not a... You know, like I said, I wouldn't want to bring them in myself because you're right, you have to get rid of them. I get it. Lundstram is the attacker. I'm sorry. I will never say a bad thing. I will never call Lundstram a defender ever again. Apart from in about 5 minutes when I forget. Madison or Tielemans, I don't think much has changed since we last kind of thought about bringing them in. I've not checked the underlying statistics. I watched the game today. They both got forward a little bit. I don't know how many shots in the box they had, but they didn't have a huge amount of like really good chances. Obviously, Madison's got set pieces, which is always not most set pieces anyway. No Chilwell takes a few free kicks and stuff. I still prefer Madison, I think, if money is no object, but I think Tielemans is a nice pick for less money, to be honest, if money is a problem. Williams is a pretty out there pick, but as everyone will tell you in the chat, he's going to lose his clean sheet because of Lundstram. Are we worried about Chelsea clean sheets? I don't know if I'm massively worried, to be honest. Obviously, at home, they kept one against Brighton, Newcastle, and Palace before this. So, I mean, it was a pretty... Not necessarily a freak result, I would say, but West Ham in pretty poor form. And then to turn around, obviously Antonio is playing though, which is a big win for them. Why was Doherty on the left side of the field for his goal? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a bit of Vardy triple captain love this week. Interesting. If money is no object, would you pick De Bruyne or Sterling? I'd probably pick Sterling. To be honest, they're both the same price. I'd pick Sterling. I mean, the thing is, I sometimes say that, like, if money is no problem. But money is always a problem. We always want that bit more. If Tammy is fit for Wednesday, would you start him against Villa or Son against... I'd probably start Abraham, but who are you? Who is... You guys have got such good squads. I'm seeing questions where it's Abraham or Son to play. How are we not playing both? I mean, based on my past uses of the chip, Vardy could absolutely smash it this week and do much better than any of my triple captains that I've ever had. It's a bit... I hate the triple captain chip, though, because... I don't know how many points it's really worth. Like, what, 50? If you get 15 points from it, you'd be happy, right? It makes such a big deal about it. And Watford at home. I mean, is Watford at home better than Norwich at home? Maybe. Obviously, Watford, new manager. Well, they probably won't. Will they have a new manager by Tuesday? Probably not. I don't think they've been mentioning anyone yet. Alright, I'm going to do the polls now, so if you haven't already voted, vote in like the next 2 seconds, and I will I'll do them now. This game was so annoying. It was a bit annoying. If Rodgers leaves for Arsenal, will Vardy... I don't think Rodgers is going to leave for Arsenal. I just don't see it. Doing so well at Leicester. It's going to be interesting to see who comes in for Arsenal, though. Watford worse than Norwich by far. Yeah, fair enough. You only got returns of triple captain when you used it on Alexis Sanchez. Was that the year I used it on Andy Carroll? Jesus Christ, what am I doing? 8.5 million for Ali, bargain. He's apparently leaving. He has a release clause. Who? Rodgers? Surely not. I mean, obviously, without trying to like annoy Leicester fans. I guess Arsenal, if you want to call it this, is probably the bigger draw, bigger club, whatever. But I mean, he's doing so well with Leicester at the moment. That would be a tough decision for him, you'd imagine. At least you can't triple captain Sané this year. I mean, will he get back in time by the end of the season? Maybe. Okay, polls. Let's do them. Okay. Alright, best Pope replacement. Henderson smashes it with 49%, then 20% for Guaita, 14% for Ryan, 9% for Schmeichel, and 6% on someone else. So Henderson, huge winner there. Is it time to sell Mount? Yes, 80%. Just get rid of him. He's rubbish. 20% saying no. Best game week 15 captain. I mean, Vardy's going to win this, but oof. So I did call this best instead of your game week captain. I don't know if anyone even cares about that. 86% for Vardy. He is going to be massively captain. His effective ownership is going to be well over 100%. Potentially for the whole game, not just in the top 10k. Mane and Salah versus Everton, only 5%. Aubameyang or Lacazette versus Brighton, 3%. Only 1% for Abraham or Pulisic. And 2% on someone else. Best options, Ings or Muse. Ings wins just about 54% to 46%. I mean, it is pretty close. I don't think there's a huge amount in it. Both have good fixtures coming up. Ings on penalties, which is nice. Don't think Muse is. And will Maguire ever keep a clean sheet? 54% of you say you're an idiot. Absolutely correct. 19% on no. 15% not in a million years. 8% on nope. And 2% on never. There you go. That's the polls done. Right, I'm going to leave it there. You're also benching Mount, so you're potentially benching Mount and Ali. You need to tweak me your team. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this week. Got some other stuff to go and do. I'm going to have my team selection video out tomorrow. I'm going to have the preview out on Tuesday early. I'm going to put them out earlier than normal. Because I need to, because obviously it's a short turnaround. Do not forget that the next deadline is Tuesday at 7, I assume. No, 6:30. Damn, there's a game at 7:30. Oh no, wait. Yeah. There's a game at 7:30 on Tuesday. So the deadline's going to be 6:30 on Tuesday. So make sure, good luck for that, etc. There won't be another stream before then, probably. I doubt there'll be a deadline stream. And then the next stream will be Thursday, so after the game week is finished, back into the next week. So it's going to be a busy one for sure. What was I going to say? If you've not already checked out OneFootball, the link is in the description below, or just search OneFootball on iOS, Android stores. And if you want to sign up to Patreon, you can click the link in the description below. If you get it done before the 1st of December is over, you'll get into the December League. And either way, I'll give you the Slack invite and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, we're done. I do a few minutes of whatever Q&A type thing. But for FPL stuff, we'll leave it there. I think we've answered loads of stuff, talked about loads of things. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. It was a busy one today, not surprising because the game weeks now are a bit ridiculous. How quick and fast they come in. Martial, Mount out, Zaha, Madison in. Not sure about Madison in right. Well, I mean, he's got good fixtures, but I think you're gonna. I think he's gonna be. You know, in 3 weeks we're probably gonna want to get rid of him again. How do I do my backgrounds? For a lot. For this background, Marco did it. He don't think he's in the stream right now, but he's a legend and he designed this for me. So thanks to Marco. Basically, you look at the channel, anything that looks good, Marco did. Anything that doesn't, I did. Pretty much. Will Jose get a good reception at Ultra? I think it'd be okay. The fact that he's gone to another top 6 club maybe will not be in his favour, but I don't think he did too much wrong at Man United. New job's good. Get myself organised. Plenty to do, of course, but it's all FPL, which is great. So I'm enjoying that. Working from home is interesting. But yeah, we'll get used to it. Will I be on the FPL show? Maybe one day. You never know, right? What about Jesus? Please answer. I'm not interested in him. Just don't think the fixtures are good enough to spend that much money. And Man City don't look great at the moment, right? Well, the commute. The thing is, you say that the commute. How is it? The commute is actually worse now than when I didn't work at home because I still have to do the same drive in the morning because of school, right? And then I have to go and pick them up from school, which is like an hour round trip at the moment. That might change. So yeah, there goes the Slack channel. It's hotting up already. Not going to discuss money. Not going to talk about how much we're getting paid and stuff. Has the puppy learned to roll her eyes at FPL? No, but she does look bored when I talk to her about it. I mean, she didn't seem to care that it was Lindelof that scored, not Maguire today. She has learnt to sit already. We've had her 6 days. She's learnt. I know golden retrievers are pretty good for training. She's learnt to sit and pretty much do paw as well. Give her a paw. Can the Foxes win the league? I just think Liverpool just looking too strong right now. I mean, it's all going to depend on injuries, right? Yeah, basically. If Liverpool get no bad injuries, I think they'll be super hard to catch. Obviously, it's not over. I think people talk about leagues being over way too quickly. But, I mean, it looks pretty difficult now. Would I support removing captaincy from FPL? I don't think so. Would I do a meet up in Dublin? Maybe. Dublin's quite far though, right? Dublin's so busy as well. This is so. Adam, who was on the stream, saying he was benching Mount and Ali. This is his team. Let's see what you think. This is his team. I'm not sure about benching Tomori. Playing Tomori ahead of benching Ali. I think that's the change I would make. Especially if you think there's a good chance that Ali scores. Yeah, not for me. But good luck. The rest of it looks good. I don't think benching Mount is a problem with that team for sure. But Ali, he's just looking so good at the moment. Get rid of that. Do I ever not think about FPL? Yeah, of course. I actually sometimes find it quite easy to switch off. I mean, obviously I'm doing it as a full-time job now, as well as in my personal time. So I'm probably thinking about it a bit more, but I do okay with switching off, I think. Have I seen the Andy Murray documentary? No, but I want to watch it. I'm a big fan of Andy Murray. I hate the boring, he's got no personality. I think anyone who says that just doesn't ever watch him in anything apart from... Probably just don't watch him at all. Now you got me thinking. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably... Like, you've heard me talk about not even getting LUNDSTRAM to play tomorrow. So I don't think he's an awful option. I just think if I had Ali, I would definitely play him. Assume Ollie gets 4th. Would you keep him for next season or bring in Pochettino? I think it would depend, without trying to sit on the fence too much, I think it would depend how we're playing up to that point. Did we luck out to get 4th? I mean, Pochettino is a pretty big draw. Did I see Messi's goal? I didn't. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Can I link team? Need help with bench? I don't think you can send links in the chat. If you send me a tweet and tell me it was your username on YouTube, I'll try and get back to it in a bit. But yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going to go now. Yeah, try and tweet me and put in your YouTube username, and I'll try and see if I can spot that one and all the notifications. Right, I'm gonna leave it here. Thanks very much. Good luck this game week. I'll see you again on Thursday for the streams. There'll be plenty of normal content throughout the week as well. And yeah,